Hi there! In this video, we'll talk about the 10 commandments for customer-oriented companies, or we can call it shorter for 10 CCOCs. Customer orientation is a topic related so much to marketing, and it's so important to think in terms of our customers' expectations, to walk in our customers' shoes, and to constantly understand what's going on in the mind of our customer. So, looking at this definition, or at this word, the 10 commandments, this word commandment is a very interesting word because we, first of all, and most of all, we associate it with the commandments from the Bible. We know that Moses went on a mountain and he got the commandments on two big pieces of rock on which God himself wrote the 10 commandments for people. And we can ask ourselves, what is a commandment? What it means to be or to obey a commandment. So probably the most synonymous word to this commandment, if we want to understand it better, it would be rules. Not too many of us would like to obey by the rules, but in order to be disciplined and to achieve something in this life, especially in business, we need to follow certain guidelines and certain rules if we want to succeed in what we do. And we know that marketing is really interested and has at its core the study of consumers and how the consumer feels and how we can walk in the customer's shoes and go beyond what he is expecting from us. So this would be a short guide, like 10 simple rules that we could take with ourselves wherever we are, and to try to obey by them step by step, one rule at a time, and try to see how we can achieve this goal. So the rule number 1: maintain close contact with your customers, also with your employees. Entrepreneurs are caught up in so many organizational details. They have to do this, they have to do that, and usually an entrepreneur or a business in the startup phase is a one-man show where he does everything, where the entrepreneur does everything that has to be done in order to move things forward. But as things progress, as things move on, we need to constantly maintain close contact with our customers, because that's the place where we get our inspiration, and we understand that the customer is the one who is paying for our products, for our services, and without being in close contact with him, we cannot further succeed into our journey. Okay, rule number 2: identify customers' requirements and surpass them. Why it is important? We said that rule number 1 is to maintain close contact with your customers. Rule number 2 says to identify what are his requirements and to surpass them. There is a very interesting saying in terms of customer expectations, is that we should under-promise but constantly over-deliver. Which means that we can lower the expectations that our customers has from us by fulfilling what he wants, but then we have this field where we could so much improve what we can do and really surpass what he is expecting from us, and this would lead to a very satisfied customers, and this will lead to prolonged interaction with our customers and with the people who interact with us. So we should satisfy what are their requirements, we should identify and then satisfy them, and we should go a step ahead, a step further, and to really understand and to really try to do much more than he is expecting, and this would be a very good thing for us to do. Okay. Rule number 3, regularly check customer satisfaction. Why is this such a crucial element for us to understand? Because we are in a competitive environment constantly. We do something good today, our neighbor might do it better than us tomorrow. And competition always brings the best in us. But in order to be on the edge and understand and to be one step ahead of our competitors and surpass our customers' expectations, a very simple instrument that we could use to gauge our customer satisfaction is called the Net Promoter Score. This is a score which shows us in plain, simple numbers what are we doing and if what we are doing good or not so good. So with a simple question in which on a scale from 1 to 10 we ask our customer, how likely is it that you would recommend our product or our service to your friends and family? The customer has to rate our product on this 10-degree scale. So it starts with 1 and goes all the way up to 10. So if we get a score from 1 to 6, this means that our customers, they are not fully satisfied with our product. Something is not ticking with them, and we need to see what's not ticking and what we can do to improve it better. Then, if we have a score from 7 to 8, these are our passives. So, you have probably heard about the term word of mouth. This is one of the most effective instruments in marketing when recommendation is the rule of law. People who buy a product and who are exalted by that product, they are ready to share it with others. And when you share it with others, you say, look, I bought this product, I bought this service, and I am so pleased with it that I am ready to recommend it 100%. And with such customers, with our promoters, we can gauge our net promoter score. So our net promoter score can be negative or positive. So if we look at a very simple formula that we could count it, we have the promoters, we count how many of our customers who rated our products, how many of them are promoters, then we see a percentage out of the total sum, and then we detract or we subtract our detractors from that, we multiply it by 100 and we get a score. So if we get a score of, let's say, somewhere between 0, it means that we don't have negative word of mouth, but also things are not spreading that well for us. But the sooner we go up, if we have about 30-40%, this is very good. If we have about 50%, a net promoter score of about 50%, this shows us that we are doing something really, really great and customers are talking about us, and we should expect in the future returning customers. And when we talk about marketing, marketing is an activity which means investment. We invest time, we invest resources in order to gain something back from our customers in the future. So by constantly monitoring our customer satisfaction, we can see where we are at and we can see what we can do better. Okay, rule number 4. Concentrate on performance that increases real net output. What does it mean? Not all our business activities, not all our actions that we take into our company bring or lead to real net output or lead to real results that in terms means, I don't know, increased sales, increased customer satisfaction, increased numbers of orders and so on. Not all of our activities lead to that, and we can use also a very simple instrument or the Pareto Law, where we can see that 20% of our activities can lead to 80% of our income. So in this 80-20 principle that we can apply to rule number 4, we can say that we can look at all our activities that we are going through on a daily basis and see what's going on in our agenda. So we can have 80% of our activities that lead to 20% of income, and we can switch it vice versa. The 20% of the most important activities, they can lead to 80% of our income. So the question we should ask ourselves, first of all, is which are the activities that I am doing with low output or with something that doesn't bring certain results that we're expecting. Some examples can be, I monitor my Facebook account. We know that today people spend so much time on social media. This is good on one side, but it can be bad on the other side because we're constantly distracted from the main focus points and from the main ideas that we should take into account. Also, checking emails. might be an activity which is not very productive if it is not related to the output increase. And then cleaning and so on and so forth. These are some of the activities. And out of this analysis, we can make a not to do list, something which we should not do and which would allow us to concentrate on the most important things. On the other side, we have the 20% of the most important activities which generate 80% of our income. And the question which we should ask ourselves is, which are those activities with high output that I do and that I should do even more than I do now? So, some of the examples here might be, I call potential customers. I constantly try to see if a potential customer that called me a few days ago or a week ago, if he got my invoice, if he got my proposal, if he got the information I sent him, I can check it out with him, and if he did, then I can follow up and try and see how things are going. Also, I can collect feedback in case I sold a product to a customer and a week has passed, I haven't heard nothing from him. Give him a call and ask him, how pleased are you with my product? Do you find it okay? Is there something we should do better next time, and so on? And this will increase and this will grow the relationship that we can form with this customer. And also another activity is we can generate leads or potential customers that are interested in our product. And this already means activities that really build up to that high output that we do. And out of this analysis, we should do a to-do list or something that we have to do in order to achieve this high output and to increase and to follow the rule number 4, which says concentrate on performance that increases real net output. Okay, we are halfway there. Rule number 5, include your key customers in your decision making. Why this is important? A customer who interacts with a company, this is a trust-built relationship. If a customer doesn't trust us, he usually won't interact with us. So, in order to build up this trust that we must build, we need to find creative ways in which we can tell our customer that we care and that we are interested in what he is looking for from our product or from our service. So when we need to make some decisions regarding some design changes or regarding some process changes and things like that, it's a good thing to contact our customer to see if they are okay with that, to let them know what we are feeling, how things are developing, and if it is about making a key decision. When you let your customer understand that he is the decision maker, this empowers him and this makes him feel that you are a trustworthy partner. Okay, rule number 6. Every employee in your company should be in contact with customers several times a year. This is especially true for task-oriented people. For people who are preferring to stay behind a monitor or behind his journal, where they are constantly writing, constantly doing numbers, and constantly trying to work by themselves. For them, for these people, is such a joy. It can be such a joy as soon as they overcome this fear. And if you can, as an entrepreneur, if you can motivate your employees to interact with customers, to see why the customers are buying things, why customers are interacting with us, and so on, this can lead to increased results. Because we usually say that, or in the business community, it is accepted that, oh, the marketing people, these are the ones who interact with customers. They are preoccupied by the customers. We, the other ones, the accountants, the administrators and things like that, we deal with the real stuff. We deal with problems, technical problems, something that you can touch, something that you can feel. But Many entrepreneurs forget that the customer is the one or is the final link which makes all things possible. If we don't have customers, basically we don't have a business. And if customers are not paying, then we cannot do our obligations. We cannot pay our salaries to our employees and things like that. And when employees can see how customers are feeling about our products, about our services and things like that, it is very good for them to interact with these people, to see why they are buying, or what are those features that a customer really cares for, and how is our company providing those features. So rule number 6, at least a few times per year, ask your accountant, ask your administrators, ask your financial accountants and financial managers and all other people who don't necessarily like to spend time outside to discuss with people, to interact, to go on the sales floor and see the vibe and understand the things that are going on that place. Rule number 7, optimize your business processes so that customer requirements are covered and heard. It is very important to look at our value delivery process to see what value are we delivering to our customers and where this value can be increased and where we are lacking some resources that might not allow us to fully cover what we are doing. So if we are in this optimization process, then this means that we can understand every single process and try to perfect it and to bring the maximum added value to our customers. And this might be a very good time to do that, because now with this threat of coronavirus, which is spreading all over the world, businesses are suspending their activities, people are not so much open to, or they are restricted in dealing with customers and things like that. So here, this is a big opportunity where we can look at our processes and see how things were going until now. We have this window of opportunity where we can improve on the things that haven't been done quite well, and when the situation will get back to normal, we can go back in full force. We're almost there. 2 more rules to go. Rule number 8, how we organize our sales. 1 customer per salesperson. Why is this important? Because a customer needs to be properly taken care of in his decision-making process. Yeah, we know that there are customers which make the decision right there on the spot. But there are other customers, and when we talk about highly sophisticated and complex products or services that we have to provide, a customer is not making the decision right away. So there are so many influencers around him, and when we talk about persuading our customer and leading him through this customer journey and to this buying process, it's not happening like in a snap. So it's important to have a salesperson who is in strict and direct contact with this customer, and he makes sure that at every step, at every question, the salesperson can answer properly and comprehensively to all the questions that he might have. So this might be a very good rule for people or for companies who work with complex projects, for companies who are selling highly sophisticated products where the added value from a single purchase is huge. And for this, it's very important to have a salesperson dedicated for that, who understands all the needs and who understands the customer, and he understands how to provide for this customer in a very good way. So rule number 9, develop and use a customer recovery strategy. Every lost customer is an opportunity for us to see why we lost him and to see if we can gain him back. If a customer or if a company analyzes its lost customers, it means that they care. It means that they are a company who wants to do better and who is interested in a long-term relationship with the customer. So if we see that a certain customer hasn't bought something from us in a long while, then we can give him a call, write him an email, and ask him what's going on. Maybe at some point something that we have done for this customer wasn't done properly, and maybe we could improve this relationship in the future. Maybe the price was an issue for him. Maybe some other terms and conditions weren't so okay with him. So we should try and see and recover this customer, and in the end we can have happy customers. Because in business there is this idea that it's 5 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than to keep an existing one. Because we have invested in that relationship, we have invested in marketing and communication with this customer, and if he bought from us, and this means that he is not an outsider, he is somebody who knows our product very well, and we can see how we could recover him if some of the things went wrong in this process. And the final rule, rule number 10, only employ and promote customer-friendly employees. Why is it such an important thing? Because friendliness and openness and a smile on somebody's face, this builds up trust. This means that our customers, they can trust us and they can relate to a customer. It's so much easier to sell a product when you are a friendly person than when you are grumpy, you are sad, and it looks like the whole world is against you. So if we can, or in the interview process, here we can use all the beautiful tools that the Swiss Create Business Manager offers us, where we can write our job applications, and we can make sure that in certain points we identify this criteria, and we can use this criteria in the interviewing process to understand if our customers are friendly, if they are interested not only in themselves but in the product and in the customer who is finally buying the product, then this might bring a very big plus to our success. So there you have it. These are the 10 CCOCs for customer-oriented companies. We should constantly gauge them, monitor them, and develop processes that allow us to see where we are at and what we can improve. So thank you for seeing this video. I hope you will have much success in this endeavor, and I wish you many, many blessings.